Let's take a trip across America and see how many of these facts you may know. The very first goldfish farm actually existed in Martinsville, Indiana. It was built back in 1899. If you like popcorn, particularly Orville Redenbacher, know that all the popcorn mainly comes from Indiana. 90% of the world's popcorn, in fact. Redenbacher himself was actually born in Brazil, Indiana, too. We wouldn't be able to pump gas into our cars if it wasn't for Sylvanus F. Bauer over in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was the inventor of the world's first gasoline pump. One faithful day, October the 6th, 1866, a particular gang by the name of Reno Brothers thought it would be a good idea to rob a train. They did it right in Jackson County in Indiana, making off with a hefty $13,000. It was the first train robbery in history. Explorers Lewis and Clark set out from Fort Vincennes on their exploration of the Northwest Territory. At one time, Studebaker Company of South Bend was the nation's largest producer of horse-drawn wagons. It later developed into a multi-million-dollar automobile manufacturer. Sorry, Walt Disney, you might have Mickey Mouse, but Indiana had theme parks long before you ever opened up Disneyland in California. The first theme park ever built was right in Santa Claus, Indiana on August the 3rd, 1946, almost a decade before the House of Mouse stepped into the amusement park fray. Indianapolis grocer Gilbert Van Camp discovered his customers enjoyed an old family recipe of pork and beans and tomato sauce. He opened up a canning company and Van Camp's pork and beans became an American staple. When Nancy Barnett died in 1831, her family had her buried in her favorite place on a small hill near the village of Amity overlooking Sugar Creek. A small cemetery was then formed in the area. When Camp Atterbury near Edinburgh was being formed, several small cemeteries were uprooted and moved, all except for Nancy Barnett, whose son objected. Later, a bridge over Sugar Creek was being planned, and at this time a grandson came to Nancy's rescue, camping out with a shotgun and refusing to let her be disturbed. So the county built a road around it and placed a concrete slab on the grave. It won't be moving now because it was granted a historical marker in 1912. Holding the Guinness World Record since 2004, Mike Carmichael's paintball has been covered in over 24,400 coats of paint and weighs over 4,000 pounds. Visitors can help the ball grow by visiting Alexandria and painting a layer on themselves. When Old Ben died in 1910, owners preserved him and presented him as a gift to the nearby town of Kokomo. Weighing in at 2.5 tons, Old Ben is the world's largest preserved steer. He was put down after he slipped on ice and broke two of his legs.